Dan, you can take the records and just throw them away because from here on out it's do or die. And it's going to be a night that we haven't dealt with all year. There's rain at Grand Islands Memorial Stadium. It's a chilling night, so ball control is going to be vital. The Islanders come in ranked 6th by the Omaha World Herald, 5th by the Lincoln Journal-Star, Omaha North top 10 by both polls. The Islanders are making their 29th playoff appearance overall, and these two teams have met head-to-head 4 times since 2007.
Have to be carried into this locker room because you've given so much of yourself for your program and your team and your brothers.
We mentioned earlier that rain is a factor.
Every season's different. Every season's like an individual. It's got a life of its own. Never anything like this season.
With some of the ups and downs we had at the end, with the ups and downs we had at the beginning, it was different. It was a different year. So
never had to deal with things we dealt with. As far as losing a player, that was a first for me, and I've been at it close to 20 years. So.
This was crazy. Like, there was so much different stuff, and it wasn't just all at once. It was one week it was this, next week it was that. It wasn't ever consistent. It was a week here where everything's fine and dandy, and then the next week it's all out of whack. Nothing is the same.
That type of adversity you wouldn't wish upon anybody. But at the same time, it made them stronger, made us stronger.
We took some pretty big shots, but we rose to them.
It helped us recover and come together as a group and play better.
We're GI Tough. We wear it on our sleeve. It's in our heart.
Let's go. Now let's ramp it up. Let's go.
I think GI Tough starts off as an attitude.
We're going to face adversity our entire lives, and being GI Tough is just learning to get over adversity and respond.
GI Tough is like really one of the hardest working, toughest guys out there.
Work your off. Never slack off.
Never give up. Give everything you have all the time, no matter what you're doing for the guy to the left of you, guy to the right of you, for your teammates.
Battle through it. Just keep pounding the rock, as Coach C always says.
GI Tough means to me is just winning the day every day. Coming out on the field, giving it your best, and nothing less.
Means coming to work every day, getting the job done, not letting anybody else do it better than you do. Gotta do it to the best of your ability.
Get out of it, Ryan.
Our identity is blue collar. We're the blue collar school. We get up every day, get our lunch pails and our hard hats, and we go to work and we start breaking rock. And GI Tough is just that kind of person that's okay with that embraces it. That's who I am, that's what I do, and I'm gonna get up every day and I'm just gonna break rock with my sledgehammer.
That's the goal, right? Get them on the ground.
GI Tough motto is do whatever you have to do to be an Islander and be a contributor.
That's really been ingrained in me through the years was GI Tough, and I figured what would embody it more than trying to give everything you can and going until you literally can't give any more.
The culture of the program is, second to none that I've ever been around.
We're just common everyday people who get up and go to work every day, and we're tough because we do it.
Winning's fun, but what happens between winning one game and another is a whole lot of discomfort. And to me, that's GI Tough, is just learn to embrace that. Because until you do, life's rough.
It just got real in here. It's going to get more real.
You know, living in such a way that nothing takes you down either. So more than just football, about life too that way. So
The biggest thing is responding to adversity in life and being able to overcome adversity.
So here's the deal. Here's the story of that flag, which is still a battle flag in the Navy today. But it began in 1812. It was early in the engagement, and the British had blockaded the coast, the East Coast, and there was a naval officer, Captain Lawrence. He was the captain of the USS Chesapeake. He takes his ship out of the harbor in Boston, he goes a little bit north, and he engages the British enemy. And the British outgunned them, had better strategy, under heavy attack, lost most of the crew, the ship is mortally wounded, and then they have snipers up on the three-masted ships, and Captain Lawrence is mortally wounded. His last order to his crew was this. His last order, don't give up the ship. You fight till she sinks. Do not give up the ship. And as I've gone through the summer and I've watched you guys, I've realized that, hey, I know what your theme was. That's our theme. Don't give up the ship. We walk around sometimes kind of complacent in a fog. Sometimes you walk around as if we're entitled. But what you have to remember, folks, this is Islander football. Coach Tomlin is not the first captain of this ship, nor will he be the last. You're not the first crew of this ship, nor will you be the last. There ain't nothing special about you guys. You're one of many, many, many crews in the, 125, 130-year history of this program? You're not princes. You're just another crew that has a responsibility to the vessel to get it on its journey and then pass it off to somebody else. It's not your ship necessarily. It's our ship. It's everybody who's ever sailed it. That's a huge responsibility. And I understand where some of the attitude comes from. Shoot, you go to a school where the grading policy says you don't get a 0, even if you don't hand in work. Man, that's the epitome of mediocrity, isn't it? You live in a world where you have voices around you all the time telling you, hey, that's too extreme. You can't work that hard. You can't do that much. Shoot, baseball guys, you hear it all the time, don't you? Right? We're under attack. This program is under attack every day from the forces of mediocrity, from people who want to tear it down, who want to make it average so that we don't hurt anybody's feelings, so that we don't make anybody feel bad because they don't work as hard in this school or in this community. But my message is, fellas, we're just one of many crews. Don't give up the ship. We fight for excellence. We fight for that work ethic. We fight for our core values until the ship sinks. But we don't give it up. We don't just give in and let that force of mediocrity board the ship and take over and tell us what to do. We do what we do because we're Islanders, because we're part of a great tradition, because we're following a crew and captains who've given their all to bring us to this point. It's our responsibility to keep the vessel afloat and to keep us on course. Don't give up the ship, fellas. That's your mission. That's your mission. Don't give up the ship. Now, related to that, we got some Hall of Famers in here, and we're going to do something a little different. Juniors and seniors, you're going to pick up one of these. In fact, you're going to pick it up now and you're going to carry it around the rest of the day. There are 2 questions I have for you. And the 2 questions that you're going to write about directly to Coach Ken Fisher, former captain, one of the greats of all time. Directly to Claire Borough, past player, member of this crew, way, way, way back. Directly to them, looking in their eyes and saying, hey, Coach Fisher. All right? Question 1. What right do you have to put that purple jersey on every Friday? I mean, who are you to put that on? What have you done to deserve the right and the privilege to put that purple jersey on every Friday and go on that field and fight? He said, you're just one of many. What have you done? Who are you? Number 2 on there, kind of a page out of the Dallas L notebook. What commitment, what promise will you make to those guys right there for the rest of this summer, through all the season? What will you do? What's your promise? What's your commitment to those people to those past crews? If you can't answer either of those questions, guess what? You probably don't belong on this crew. If you're so caught up in you that you can't answer them, you probably don't belong with us. I'm telling you right now. I think Coach would agree. You don't belong. You're not a member of this crew. You need to go somewhere else where average is okay. So dig down in your heart deep. Put something on paper for Coach Fisher, Coach Boroff, Grimminger, Rathman, and all the other brotherhood who's ever been on this ship. And you're going to give it to me tomorrow. Things going on, I know, but you got to remember, I come from a family that I don't have a lot of sympathy for that. I come from a family where an 8-hour day is called a vacation. Right? I think Tom were here right now, he'd laugh at you if you said you're too busy in his 20-hour days. Okay? So you're going to get it done. And you're going to bring it tomorrow, put your name on it, because they want to know who said what. Why are you worthy to wear that purple jersey every Friday night? When so many great young men have worn that before you, why are you deserving of putting that on every week? And I wanted to remind them that they're a small but significant piece of a bigger puzzle, of a larger family. And they needed to, every day, in how they behave, the choices they make, how they train, how they practice, to earn their place and to earn their spot in the brotherhood.
Honestly, I will never be completely sure if I've earned the right to put on a purple jersey. All that I'm sure of is that at the start of each day to its end, is that I can do everything I'm able to make not only myself but others around me better in any way possible. I promise to Islander Nation, our brotherhood, and our Hall of Fame inductees to play with 100% every down for the Islanders who have laid the foundation of excellence and who have carried on the tradition. I promise selfless service to my teammates, coaches, brotherhood, and Hall of Fame inductees.
Each and every day I work my hardest, not because I have to, but because I want to inspire and encourage all of my brothers to do the same, to get better day in and day out.
They paved the way for our program today. They laid the building blocks for our program's reputation and tradition. It gives me a strong sense of pride to wear the GI on my helmet, knowing so many great and exceptional people have wore it before me.
I feel honored to be put into a program with such great history and players. To be put next to the players and coaches like the people inducted into this year's Hall of Fame. I fully commit myself to uphold the blue-collar tradition, not only for my current coaches and teammates, but for the past greats to put on the purple and gold.
I do not think anyone has the right to wear a purple jersey every Friday night, but I know my responsibilities as a student athlete. I know I'm worthy because I value what this program means to so many people. It is above average, and that's how I will represent myself.
I commit to giving it my all every day and being the best leader for the underclassmen that I can be. It is my last season to continue the great football tradition and make sure that all the others after me continue to carry the tradition for many years to come.
Ever since I was a little kid, I dreamed of being the quarterback for Grand Island Senior High. And now, in my 4th year, I have the opportunity to lead this team. I am fully ready to do so, as I've had the privilege of succeeding Pierce Allman at quarterback. I have big shoes to fill, and I'm 100% ready to do so. So the number one promise I can make is I will honor past, present, and future leaders in my actions. I am ready to lead this team.
I promise to always do my best, give 110% in everything I do, on and off the field, and blaze a bigger path from what my brothers before me have blazed for me.
Putting on that Islander jersey represents tradition. People know Islander football players to be blue-collar and hard-nosed. We are lucky enough to have great men pave the road of excellence for us. As a brotherhood, as a squad, as a family, we have to let it loose and complete the mission.
Every day in the weight room and on the field, I work my hardest to support and build up my fellow teammates. As a football player, I've always strived to make my teammates better and also executing all my responsibilities.
I'm not a great football player, but I do believe I am earning the right to wear the purple jersey. All of the Hall of Fame inductees have earned this right because they live and continue to live a life where they earn and are earning this privilege every day. I promise to live every day in a position to serve my teammates and my team. I will live my life as an upstanding citizen, as everything I do represents the brotherhood and the team.
Actions say a lot. Are you doing what's right? Doing what's best? Treating others with respect? Making the right decisions even when nobody's watching? Being disciplined is just part of being an Islander. It's not about you, it's about all the people surrounding you and the people uplifting the tradition long before you.
I will not give up the ship because I owe that to all my brothers. It's not our right to put on that jersey. It has to be earned. Something like that just can't be given to you.
I feel as if an Islander football player should earn his jersey every day. I want to be totally committed to excellence, always going above the standard. There's nothing more important to me than doing my job and holding my teammates up.
I respect the past Islanders that have come before me and have set the standard for us today. I am committed to be accountable for all of my actions.
Playing Islander football is not a right, it is a privilege. But I am just one piece of the puzzle. A tiny fraction of the great players before me to put on a jersey every Friday night. To be a part of that great tradition is a great privilege. We're a very rare breed of people in a society plagued by mediocrity.
To wear the purple jersey Friday nights has a meaning deeper than just playing football. I understand that we have to act on behalf of our history to gain this privilege. I may not be the best football player, but I live by the idea of see the need, fill the need. My promise is to act only in a way that all past Islanders view as exceeding the standard.
Everything I do in and out of football is for my brothers next to me and the ones who have came before me and made this program into what it is. Being a part of 2 semifinal teams and coming short both times, and seeing and feeling the hurt in my brother's eyes gives me the drive to give an 11 effort at all times.
As a teammate, I show up with a great attitude to put my team first and help them improve. I make it about the team, not about me.
I am determined to get better every rep. Through hard work and dedication, I strive to excel at whatever I do. I will always be proud to be an Islander.
I learned from my upperclassmen and my alumni how to show class, hard work, dedication, brotherhood, blue collar, hard-nosed, and tough our team is. I promise from here on out, I will go 110% on everything I do. Not for me, but for all of my brothers.
I am a committed, honorable player. I cheer and support my brothers in all they do, whether it's on the football field, weight room, or outside of football. My commitment to my brothers, coaches, and Hall of Fame is to work hard in the weight room and practice hard to not let my brotherhood down.
As an Islander, you have to earn the privilege every day by being the best you can be. Therefore, I promise to give 100% effort in everything I do. I promise to work my hardest so I can make my brothers proud.
I will never do anything to hurt the team or the great men before me.
I've worked hard to make my teammates better by pushing them on the scout team.
I promise to carry on the tradition by being a leader and a role model, so the ones below me have something to look up to and hopefully help them to carry on the tradition for years to come.
The basic theme of the thematics of the question was, what have you done to earn the right to wear the purple and gold, to wear the purple jersey? And they gave some incredible answers, and they spent a lot of time thinking about it. And I think it was a good basis for starting our season.
And I think to a large extent, that was a question that needed to be asked. I think it was in their heart and in their soul, but I don't know that many of them actually thought about it. I don't know if they actually thought about the fact that they were, I think one of the things I did, if I backtrack just a little bit, I threw out that don't give up the ship. That this group of seniors was not the first crew of this ship, nor will it be the last. That Coach Tomlin's not the first captain, nor will he be the last. And I think it, for the first time, kind of put that in perspective of, you know what, I'm putting on the same jersey that a Scott Siegel put on, that a Kurt Mann put on, that a Rigo Venegas put on, that a Tom Swanson put on, and those guys earn that purple jersey, and I need to step up and earn that same jersey every week. So
I was surprised. I was surprised at the depth of thought, and I was surprised at how they poured their heart out into their answers, and I knew they'd take it seriously. because our kids try to be excellent in whatever they do, but they took that to a different level, and I think it carried over for us into the season. I think it helped create identity for us.
Because as the old adage goes, you can't serve two masters. You can't serve self and team. It's got to be one or the other, right? You know.
It all starts with Coach Swanson. He's on the cutting edge. He's studying all the time. His personality, his leadership, his dedication is second to none. And then you throw in the willingness of the kids to be blue collar, embrace it, and work. I've never been around kids that work as hard as Grand Island kids.
They know it's work. Some of them don't know how hard it's going to be when they get started in the program. But, you know, fortunately we've had some great classes that have been able to show to the younger guys that this is what it takes.
Well, it just takes showing up on time every day, giving your best. I mean, people think it's too hard, but honestly it's not. You don't have to be the smartest kid, the toughest kid, strongest kid. You just got to show up, do your job.
It's believing in the coaches and in the process and what Coach Swanson has you do, because there's probably not another coach in the state that has their football players do what Tomlin and Swanson have us do. Come in on the Wednesday mornings at 6 o'clock, get extra catches in, footwork, film. So it's a lot of work, but it's what we need to do to be successful here.
You're held to a different standard than everybody else. You're up in the weight room till 4:30 every day, and everyone else is done by 3:40. You're up there an extra hour. Wrestlers are halfway done with practice, and you're still up there lifting. It's basically like another practice.
Being comfortable with discomfort comes from training and more than just in your football pads. It's just something you learn.
You got it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's tough. You'll be challenged, but you have the entire team to be working with, and you just lift each other up. Rising tide raises all boats, so you get through it as one.
I guess it's just your mindset. You know, you're gonna be sore, but every day you're sore is another day that you're stronger. So.
Big guys don't rest. Let's go. And I think that's the approach I'm gonna use for I don't know how long in the future. I think it's all about that. It's all nice to recognize that you got a big bench, but let's be honest. Some of you have got a big bench, and you know what? If you don't train very hard, you're still going to have the biggest bench. Well, who cares? Because it's not about that number. It's about your work ethic. And if the numbers are improving, I'm good. But I don't think we need to recognize complacency. I think we need to recognize hunger, right? And a love for the people around you and that kind of thing.
Feels like hell. Feels good too at the same time.
That's why he's trying to teach life lessons in the weight room every day. And I think our kids that really get the most out of our program, and they realize that and they appreciate that.
It's a big football thing I learned. I always thought it was all about me and always about how I could get better and how I could play. But it's honestly about the team. We've got a bunch of players that believe in Enom, your team's gonna be successful. But if you got people that just think about themselves, the team won't succeed at all.
I don't want to let the team down.
was my commitment to them, so I can't let them down.
That's a Swanson term from the weight room 2 summers ago. I don't know, it's never about yourself, never be selfish or make selfish plays or make it about you. Make it about the guy who left you, do it for them, not yourself. Coaching staff, the program, the town, the community, the school.
Being mentally tough, building that strong foundation on the inside that you can't get beat or let the workout beat you, because you got all those other guys around you going through the same thing. You got to show them that, hey, I can't let this beat me, that I'm going to help them after I finish this. And just staying strong inside is probably the biggest part of it.
It's tough as a coach because most of us played back in an era where Ironman was just what everybody did. You didn't even think anything different. But we play in a class now that's not as common. I mean, we play against a lot of one-way guys, and we're asking a lot of our guys to play 95% of the snaps during the game. That's a hell of a lot of football to play.
I think the predetermined outcome is to make better men, champions for life.
If you don't like to work, you'll never be happy with me because we're going to work really hard every day. We don't waste a second. My personal belief is every second that we have is a gift. And for many different reasons at many different levels, but you don't waste a gift. You embrace that gift and you use it and you honor the gift giver by how you use that moment. And so I think it's real important that you come in here every day ready to work, ready to pour yourself out for the people around you, ready and willing to be uncomfortable because it makes everybody around you better, and to make a positive difference in the lives of the people that surround you.
I've learned more here about later on in life than I ever will, like anywhere else.
Honor, courage, commitment, loyalty. And he teaches us life lessons all the time to incorporate them.
And I tell my guys, you know, when you get to be a parent, when you get out in the real world, some days you don't get to be tired. Some days you don't get to be sick. You know, that GI tough, that's where that comes in, going well past when it's uncomfortable.
There is an outcome, as I mentioned. There is a mindset and a way of life and an attitude that we want to develop, that I want to develop, so that when Coach takes this group from me in August, he's got a great foundation to build from.
You know, I thought we learned some great lessons today. Teamwork, you know, being able to rely on my buddy, having to count on somebody, not letting somebody down, not letting the whole group down. Hopefully that lesson's learned too. And then uplifting folks that need it. Seeing the need, filling the need. I see a guy that's struggling, I'm running with him, even though I already got mine done. Saw a lot of that. That was tremendous, okay? And that's inspiring. When you watch it from outside, you guys don't think it is, but that inspires me. And I know that inspires our coaching staff, and that's what makes our culture special, okay? You don't get that everywhere you go. And believe me, I'm thankful for it every day. Job well done. Really good.
Complete the mission.
Feels great to be back. I had to stay up all night because I didn't want to sleep through it, but it feels good to be back.
I've been out here since 3 a.m. just waiting for people to show up. What time is it, by the way?
It's not 3 a.m.
No. It was lonely out here. It's dark.
Not gonna say it. Not gonna say it. Not gonna say what I was gonna say, but it stinks over here.
4x4.
Do you have lights?
No, no lights. No lights. Did a lot of walking.
Morning, Coach. Say morning, not hi. Time out. Get this on film, or I'm about ready to kick his. Start telling me what to do. You think you're a damn stupid coach? Yeah, and I even like you.
I had some visitors. I don't know their names though. Coach C just had a snot rock I just threw up in my mouth.
Did you see Johnny?
Yeah.
No pylon goage whatsoever. Coach said pilot. What's a pilot? No, it's a pylon, Johnny. To the back pylon, Johnny. That's that orange thing.
Load your left butt cheek now. All your weight in your left leg. Load your left butt cheek. We're taking a right step.
Coach Carter.
Yes, sir.
It is 6:45. We are 59 minutes into practice. I've got to go to the bathroom.
Coach, you got 10 minutes. Okay, scratch where it itches.
Good morning.
Hey, why not? Got to come in tight.
It's creases in this leg.
20, twins open, 4, motion. You know it's nasty on Ace right away. Don't just let him do it.
I'm going to only give you footage you can't use.
And I just shave a little bit off of it.
We got to get so we're not so mechanical, for God's sake.
Oh, God.
I've got to go back. Might have to get some Depends.
He gets the kick right here, shave right off his butt cheek.
I've had a lot of gray in there.
There's
a bunch of them right there. My daughter counts them.
Does
she? Things are old. Especially with your patchy facial hair. You got nothing right there.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, baby.
Day 3 of 2 days. Food started to lose its taste.
Boom. You ever throw an uppercut? But you only got to block half of it.
To go. God knows it's tough enough to get half a man. That couldn't have been any worse there, that group. Finish your run. Finish your run.
Attitude, work ethic, fundamentals, community, discipline.
Prior proper planning prevents poor performance.
There you go. You know that, don't you, Jordan? That's why you're such an outstanding dude right now. Huh?
You gotta go.
I don't.
Right.
That was good. Woke me up.
Make sure he sees that so he doesn't think I was the one who did it.
I pushed him so hard, dude. I feel bad.
If their head goes down, put him on the ground, defense.
Marcy, where you going? Marcy's got to take.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah. I've never felt like that before. That was bad. It's borderline volcanic.
It was different. Like I've never felt that kind of pressure before. I mean, I was part of the team sophomore year when we played Omaha North here, but going on the road to play Kearney kind of weighed on your shoulders. This whole school's watching. Everyone's expecting you guys to win. It was tough. It was a different weight. It was not like any other game.
I remember when they announced the schedules my sophomore year, thinking that my first varsity start would be against Kearney at Kearney, and it was pretty nerve-wracking. You know, I remember it felt like that day would never come. The summer leading up to it just felt like it would never come, and then, you know, a week before it's like, oh, it's a week away, and I got another week to prepare, and then a day before I got another day to prepare, and then I woke up that Friday and just it really hit me like it's my time to see what I can go out and do, and a tough challenge as well.
And the players do a good job of keeping an even keel. You know, it's just the first game where, I mean, we hate Kearney, they hate us.
I was nervous when I was by myself driving on the way to school, but I guess when we got on the bus and we just sat in the back, it was kind of relaxing. I don't know. You always look forward to the Kearney game, having it the first game of the year. It was fun, and you get there, and I guess everything just kind of went away because you got that big adrenaline rush for Kearney, and then the game starts, and I don't know, you're just jacked up.
Just like I'm going to tell team, there's no substitute for elite effort and grit. That overcomes all things. And not just on the football field either, does it? That's going to get you through life.
First week for me is just, hey, do we have everything taken care of? You know, the opponent. You know, can we finally play somebody else? And, you know, it happens to be Kearney, you know, most years. And So that makes it a little more incentive for our kids. I mean, they know it. They know it, and probably better than the coaches do.
I'll speak for myself, and I think I'd speak for other coaches too. That first game of the year, you never really know what you got. You don't really know if you don't know how it's going to look. You don't know how you're going to perform. You don't know how the kids are going to respond to situations that come, the ebbs and the flows.
It was tense. I think as far as a senior class, freshman through senior year, I don't think we ever lost to that Kearney class, and that was a big part. We got to keep the streak going, keep beating them. And as far as we were wondering how well we had led the younger guys in the team to how well we were going to perform on our first night. And me, emotionally, I was worried about my leg. Like, I was scared about whether it was going to hold up on me or not. Like, first play, if it was going to give out or not. Even if it did, I was fine because I prepared for that all summer, like mentally. If it gives out, I did everything I could.
There's only one thing better than playing at home, and that's playing where they hate you. And they hate us.
Every Thursday we meet with Coach Harb, and he tells us the first 10 plays. And when he told us the first play was 4 verticals, obviously my heart dropped a little bit. Like, my first pass is going to be a Hail Mary sort of thing. And when we got out there, I realized I just went through my reads and I threw it, and it was a little behind him. It was incomplete, but I'm like, I can do this.
I don't know if it's the fans or if it's the fact that it's a rivalry game, but I just hate Kearney with all my heart.
I mean, they're good people, honestly, if you just talk to them personally, but once we're on a field with them, no matter what sport, you just gotta beat them no matter what.
Number 8, Manitowoc line, the ball carrier.
I get it's a rivalry, and we embrace that it is. But as far as the coaching staff, we put as much effort as we can in to every opponent. And I know for the fans it's a big deal, and for the media it's a big deal. It's a regional rivalry, and I guess it's good for the game. It's good for their school, and it's good for ours. It's good for high school football. And I always got to keep that in the back of my mind. It's not about what I like all the time.
Bragging rights, because you know the kids, you've known them since you were little. You played sports against them, and I played sports with a few of them. So I guess it's just holding on to those bragging rights for the rest of your life, especially as seniors. 3 years in a row we beat them, so they can never say they beat us.
Never lost to Kearney since I've been here. Baseball, that's a different story.
So you're going to enjoy it because you earned it. You played your ass off. After film tomorrow, then it's Southeast. Then it's next target. Next target. Take a knee. Good job, boys.
we played a great game against Kearney. I knew we had a great week of practice, and the team played great against Kearney. I knew we'd carry it over.
Tough teams. Okay? Tough teams can lock in when they're a little fatigued, when it's hot, or when it's extremely cold, or when the game gets tight and it's money down situations. Mentally tough teams, okay, get it done. And that's what we are. That's what we are. We can lock in and focus and concentrate no matter what the situation. We've got a sniper's mentality, man. We're right on the next target. And we're supporting each other the whole way. Because football is a team game, man. And I gotta root like hell for my brothers, and I gotta help them get their job done. I gotta sacrifice myself to help my brothers get their job done. Okay? But look at that sign up there. There's tough, and then there's GI tough, and they ain't the same thing. You gotta wear that in your heart. That's a pride thing. There's tough, and then there's GI tough. That's a special kind of tough. Okay, this is our island. We'll defend it against anybody that comes here. We'll defend it. We'll do whatever we have to do, whatever it takes. GI Tough's gonna get it done tonight. Lock in. No matter what, lock in. Next play, GI Tough. Get in here, take a knee. Lock in.
Great win against North or Southeast, and traditional rival, you know. Great program. Thought our kids played lights out. They played really, really well. Thought we got way better between weeks 1 and 2, and obviously the next day then we're game planning for Burke. I'm doing work as well as you're doing work for the Hall of Fame. Coming up the next week, we've got people on the committee really working hard for the Hall of Fame. So a really busy weekend, and kind of had a late night, turned in late. My wife gets a phone call about 1:30 a.m. It's Coach Herkett. She's stunned on the other end. She gives it to me, and you know, Coach lets me know that Nick has passed away in a auto accident, and just a numb, very numb feeling, very empty feeling, and it wasn't 3 to 4 minutes later after that phone call, I'm trying to scramble and get my pants on and a shirt on, and we've got 15, 20 kids on our porch. and very emotional time.
I remember when I first heard it, I was devastated, and it was just sad, devastated, and it also encouraged us and gave us something extra to fight for.
Like, I didn't think it was real at first. It kind of felt like a dream. And I woke up and it hit me that it was real.
I remember looking down at my phone, it was like 3 a.m. and I saw a text that Nick passed away, and I saw that a bunch of seniors were meeting right here in this room, and I drove up here and
guys slowly started to show up to the school, and it was just quiet and like eerie, and it was starting to like settle on people. Oh crap, we lost a teammate, like a guy we love who's been through everything with us, and it was just slowly hitting us. And we went to the locker room and we didn't really talk much. We just kind of sat there in disbelief, and then Coach T brought us in for prayer, and that was the first time I've ever seen Coach T cry. That was probably the hardest thing that I've seen in a long, long time. To see somebody that's like so tough always that you think, and something getting to him, because you know a guy that he loves and that we love too. And so I think that brought everybody to tears, and we just sat there for a while. We tried to comfort people that were like showing up. Everybody was crying.
the seniors in here might have stayed here for an hour just being with each other, and the next day we went and saw Brian, who was also in the accident, and we obviously met up here with Northwest football team. They reached out to help us out, and we just got through it together, and we knew that Nick would want us to keep playing the season the way we could, and we just played for Nick.
The first thing I thought was, man, the next time I have a meeting, the next time I have a team breakdown, I ain't gonna see Nick standing. He always stood in the same place every time. I'm not gonna see Nick, and I'm not gonna hear him make that little noise he always made in the silence of my meeting. I'm gonna miss that, because I came to kind of expect it, and I kind of, in a way that was comfort. Oh, there's Nick. Whoop, makes that little noise. All right, everything's cool. We got the whole family here.
All he cared about was coming here, working hard every day, because his main goal was to play on Friday nights next year.
Nick was one of the hardest working kids I've ever seen or ever had the pleasure of playing with. 58 strong means no matter the circumstances, you gotta tough it out. You gotta just do your best.
In the big picture kind of things, it was everything that Islander power and Islander football is all about. It's a brotherhood, and there's a thread that connects all of us from 18 whatever until 2015, and that was a perfect example of it. Guys from the past, the greats of the past, to honor them, the moment of need within our own family right now, and as a brotherhood, honoring and respecting, caring for each other right then and there, and always is kind of that foundation platform is this fun game we call football that kind of tied us all together. It was a tough week. It really was. It was a tough week, but at the same time, when you look at it and think about what we're all about, it's a perfect example of what we're all about.
Well, there's always silver lining. I did learn that out of a lot of pain, and my whole philosophical take on it, for what it's worth, it might not be worth anything, but I think God sends angels to teach us how to live, and I think Nick was one of those guys, one of those special people that taught us how to live the correct way, and that's how I dealt with it. I saw a team come together even more. I saw a staff take care of kids first, because we have an incredible staff of great men, many of them already fathers themselves, and we were deeply impacted by it, and I saw them take care of our kids first, and football became secondary, and that's where it should have been. And we kind of used football as a diversion for what was really important. And I was just, deeply impacted by it as our whole team was. But the silver lining being, I think we learned a lot from the way Nick lived, and hopefully how to honor his life in the way we live. and we learned a lot about each other, and we grew very, very close.
When you play a team like Burke or a program like Burke traditionally, you know that if you don't give it all your focus, if you don't give it all your attention, that you're going to be in for some trouble.
You know, I know our kids were emotionally drained and had practiced as hard as they could and trained as hard as they could, but human beings, you know, we're all human beings, and the toll that took on us. And at the same time, you know, we have families of Hall of Fame members here, and Hall of Fame members just thrilled, and as rightfully so they should be, about being inducted into our first class. And, you know, meeting and greeting them, it was uplifting and inspirational. And I thought, you know, this probably couldn't be better timing for this, where I thought earlier in the week there couldn't be worse timing. By late in the week, I was thinking, we need this spiritual and emotional uplifting from the 78 team, and all the inductees and their families gave us a real boost and a real mission that night, and our kids just played fantastic.
Game with Burke was just, you know, as a coaching staff, we had talked about managing emotions, you know, because we knew there would be so much emotion. And it wasn't going to be a question of how hard we would play. Not that it's ever an issue, but especially that night, obviously, the emotions sometimes can overwhelm you if you're not careful. So we just, you know, reminded them it's a football game, and you know, we know you're going to play 100%, and you know who you're playing for, and that was really all we had to say as a coaching staff, and those guys went and took care of it.
It was nice to get back on the field. We still had that feeling in our hearts, like we were sad and mourning for Nick, and it was nice to play for him and remember him and bring his jersey out on the field. And I don't remember, I think Brian came out on the field, yeah, that game, because I pushed him. But yeah, it was great to get out back on the field, and because we practiced all week talking about playing for Nick, and the way Nick was tough, always happy, positive guy, and just remembering him and playing for him was great.
I think our kids just really, you know, at that point were ready to play the game and, you know, honor the Hall of Fame guys.
Well, I was relieved just to play. So you always look forward to playing on Friday, but I don't know, just to finally pour everything out onto the field, it was definitely a relief to get all that out.
Let's be 58 strong.
Let them all go on Friday night. Point straight up. First thing I thought of was the first play. Kind of felt like there was something else helping there.
26.
I think for most of us, football was a relief. And by the time we got to Saturday, it was just like take a deep breath and relief. We got through it.
I think a lot of boys became men. There were a number of guys that I really wasn't sure what their voice sounded like, but they've been here and they've done work that all of a sudden stepped forward and verbalized what maybe some people were feeling and encouraged, whereas they had never been that verbal before. I mean, it was just really a neat transformation to see people grow up and step into the big boy shoes, if I can use that term, to become men just right before my eyes. A lot of times that takes 9-10 weeks to do. But that was kind of an accelerated plan this year, and guys grew up really, really fast, demonstrate a lot of maturity and a lot of really deep and human emotion and love and kindness and all of those things that you want out of a young man.
We were living on adrenaline at that point, but we really didn't have a real significant letdown. I was really worried about a letdown the next week. Didn't happen.
You get to week 3, you get a win. You come, you got Columbus coming up. You think you're there. West Side's looming, but we really felt we practiced pretty well. Our kids played well a lot of nights. There was always those mistakes, but yeah, you really felt, you start looking around, you're like, okay, we're going to be okay at this position. We're going to be okay at that position. You saw kids making good strides.
I think the one challenge going in was going to be continuity, cohesiveness, lots of different groups and trying to make it all into one, which is very important with the offensive line. And I thought when we were clicking at our best at the end of the year, we were as cohesive and as one unit as we could have been.
Gage just started playing like a man possessed. I mean, he'd never played DN before, so I think, all during the off season, the first few games, he's still feeling it out. He's still, figuring out DN versus D tackle, and then as the switch flipped for him, and he was a man possessed.
I think our kids really bought in together that they were going to have to be a cohesive unit. Yeah, they're definitely, anytime you're doing some good things on offense, where it's coming from. It's the offensive line, and they really performed well all year.
Those guys were physical, especially the guys in my grade. Those guys were good. I think so.
Who was the worst?
The worst guy? Salty.
The worst guy to get in front of.
Salty Ryan. He got salty all the time.
Salty?
Why is it always gotta be
It means you get very upset and you just have a very bad day. And we gave Rhino and Brett a lot of those. I know how to push their buttons, and I'll just say, stuff that he did wrong on that play, he'll get very salty. Stuff that Coach Cloutier will say, hey, you need to do this. I'll be like, yeah, Rhino, you need to do that. And then I'll just get very salty. And then Isaac has a very bad day as well because Rhino just is a bully to him. I feel bad.
What was it like going up in practices?
Against them? Not on offense? Ooh. It'll kick my ass. I try my best, but nah.
The one thing I'll say about this year's 2015 offensive line, defensive line, that they didn't leave anything out there. There was nothing left to give.
The weeks after that were probably some of the best weeks in competition that I've ever been a part of. Just how fun it was competing as a team. You know, we were on the top of our game.
Let's go, come on!
It's kind of carried over week by week by week.
It was great. I mean, we came together and we started playing our best football of the year.
Oh, most fun I've ever had.
Quit toying around with being good. Because good's the enemy of great. You're good. Good's the enemy of great. It's time to be great. Every position.
Westside was pretty fun. We were down, 21-6? 21-6, and we came in at halftime, we just regrouped, and they couldn't stop us in the second half. And that's when we knew that we're a team that when we're at our stride, it's tough to play against us.
I hate them.
Got those fireworks after that win at Omaha. It's pretty sick. Everyone cheering in the locker room. Pretty nice bus ride home.
On their homecoming, especially. Got the fireworks.
Incredible competitiveness, and fought to the end. Got a huge win for our program.
They beat us last year. They beat us sophomore year, freshman year. They've always beat me, and it was awesome to go into their house and beat them.
They responded unbelievably. I mean, they just looked at us and said, yeah, we know we're gonna play better in the second half. And we went out and we did. We showed we were right there, and then we were the better team, and got a great W, and then they just kind of carried on from there.
I don't know, we were really relaxed this year. We always had fun at practice, always had fun in the locker room. I don't know if we were really ever stressed out as a team.
So yeah, it was a good run to get on. I think anytime you get those 3 wins, 4 wins in a row, you get that 5th win, your kids start believing in themselves. And
I don't know. I think we're happy, but we knew we had to get a lot of work done. Never really content as an Islander. You always want to get better.
Coach Wells in our running back meetings would talk like, hey, this team's not very consistent and they're not really focused or whatever, and they can have their good days and they can have their bad days. And he told us all week, hey, I think they're going to have a great night this night. Like, they're going to actually play the way they can. And he was right. And I think that week we did all right with practice, but going into the game, something felt different. It just felt wrong.
We weren't ready to play. I think we all went in thinking, oh, we beat these guys last year. No big deal. They haven't won any games this year. And I think the mindset going into the game was not right. And I think it hurt us going in. Like, when we got out there and we didn't score in the first half, it was, we got to go. Otherwise, this thing's going to go the wrong way. And obviously it did.
In the whole game, I don't think we had many things really go our way, and it felt off. And Coach was right, they played a great game.
so no, I really thought that week we were going to play well. I didn't see that coming. I think Tex Harvey asked me when it came out, you guys big on yourself? You got too much of yourself right now? I said, no, we ain't, but I don't think we were.
We were flat. There's no doubt about that. On offense, we were flat.
We didn't execute as well as we would have liked. The score probably wasn't indicative. Probably showed that we played better than we actually did. I thought we were kind of sloppy, and that kind of carried over. We didn't have a terrible week of practice, and I don't think we were overlooking them because the kids knew from the previous year they had very, very good athletes. But the concentration, the focus just wasn't there for whatever reason, and it was hard to coach and it was hard to watch because it just felt like we were in cement, that we were just a step slower than we normally were. The effort was there, the will to win, the competitiveness was all there. That had never left, but just felt like we were a step slow and a count off.
It was just one of those games where what could go wrong, it seemed like it was going to go wrong that night, and we still were able to fight back and come within a few yards of getting in field goal range. We just couldn't quite do it.
We never recovered. I mean, it's the same thing. I really don't feel like Millard South beat GI that night. GI beat GI. I mean, you can't make mistakes like that and bounce back from them every time. You go against good teams, and eventually you end up paying for those mistakes. So
nothing was really clicking. I'll take as much blame as can be poured upon me. It was a rough game for me. I'm not going to hide that. But as a team, we didn't play GI tough, myself in particular. And after that game was over, just pushed it to the side, cleared the mechanism, and we went out and got it done next week.
Right away, it's, hey, listen, it's one game. It's it's game 6, game 7, whatever it was. It's not the playoffs. It's not one and done. So let's get better. Let's get better from it, and we did, because we came out against Northeast that next week and probably put together our best offensive line game, probably against Lincoln Northeast. So
they came back on a short week with an incredible sense of resolve.
How many times in your life you get to play in a championship game? How many times? It's fleeting. It's not very many. Okay, so it deserves your best absolute effort, right? From the get-go. No room for low energy. None. We got to bring it from the frickin' kickoff and sustain it all the way, right? The stage deserves that. Your teammates deserve that. Your program frickin' deserves it. That's what our program's about. Okay, so we got to have them match our frickin' energy right from the get-go. And it better not be the other frickin' way. Okay? They got to match our energy and our intensity, our pad level, and our physicality from the get-go and keep coming out. Snap after frickin' snap. GI tough, Iron Man mentality. Meet in the middle, take a knee. Let's go.
Let's go, boys. Come on.
If only I would've. Right? That don't get it. Don't get caught walking off the field saying, you know, maybe if I would've, nah. Not tonight. Okay? Do what we do. We're Grand Island High.
Great North Platte team. Coach Madison had done a great job, him and his staff. They had some legit players. Really, really good football team. Just beat Norfolk soundly. Beat a rated team soundly at home. And our kids knew.
Different North Platte team. We knew they'd be tough. They had some big linemen. They didn't make it easy for us to run the ball. It was windy. I hate the wind, obviously. Throwing into it's not fun.
They were with us the whole game, and we were giving them everything we had, and they were a lot better than they had been in the past, and I think that kind of took a lot of us by surprise.
That was the best North Platte team I've ever seen.
You have games where you go in expecting to win, and that's not always a good thing to think when you go in to play a team.
Senior night it was a great game, honestly, until they took the lead. Then I was like, this is kind of setting in that they might beat us.
North Platte's much improved this year. They've added a lot of speed at a lot of positions, and their defense was playing at a very high level and continued into the playoffs. They played a good game defensively, but our kids just kept fighting. It was one of those games where we had a hard time getting things going. Finally gets down to that last drive, and they just looked at each other and said, all right, we got to make some plays now, and they did. And that's, tip your hat to those guys because they responded when they had to.
Sometimes you need all 48 minutes to get it done, and that was the case that night. So.
You know what? Yeah. Kind of the no. Okay, good job.
No. I was surprised.
I'm yelling in the box right now. Just take a knee, get down.
Fall down as loud as I could. I'm surprised he didn't hear me.
He kind of just stuck his hand up there and grabbed it. And I was like, oh, sweet, one-handed.
Barnes is a competitor, so no, I'm not surprised.
He's a pretty determined kid, and the grab was incredible.
Jackson was right there trying to take him down. He's like, no, I see that green space.
We might have had 2 or 3 guys try to push him down from his own team, but I knew, I could just tell.
We're just kind of standing there watching him, wondering what he's doing, and out of nowhere, there's an open field, and he won't go down. Jackson's hanging on to him, and he gives Jackson a stiff arm.
I don't know. He doesn't listen very much on the field, so we were yelling at him, but he doesn't listen very much. He kind of does what he wants.
Barnes is I'm going to take as much as I can get kind of guy. When he one-handed picked that, there's no way he was going down. He's taking that to the house.
I'm surprised he didn't find a couple more guys to mow down on the way in.
He told us in the locker room, he was like, oh, hell no. I'm taking that thing all the way back. And I guess that's what he did.
He's a different breed of cat, and when he gets full go, when he's focused up, you know, I can tell you about a number of mound visits I've taken with Barnesy. There's been a time or two when I took the ball from him and he wasn't real sure he wanted to give it up. So I think with that same resolve is how he got into the end zone that night against Splatters.
Go down. Yeah, I want to go down because we had the game won. You know, that's a smart play, but also as a defensive guy, I'm pretty proud. You know, I'm pretty proud of him. That part of me wants him to go down, part of me wants him to score. You know, we want to score on defense too and have some fun on defense too.
That was my first interception. I'm going to take it to the house. I don't know, I probably wasn't going to get another one of those opportunities, so I was going to seize it.
Three real important things to our program on what we're about, right? Be who we are, okay? Pound the rock. That's part of being GI Tough. And playing for your brothers. Okay, we do those three things. We never have to answer to anybody. We never have to ask what if, right? You don't have to ask what if. Go to the wall. Go to the wall. Give every let. Don't walk in here. Have to be carried in here. That's my challenge to you. Have to be carried into this locker room because you've given so much of yourself for your program and your team and your brothers.
And the Islander offense will start at their own 22-yard line. First down and 10 as we get underway with playoff football here at Memorial Stadium.
The mission of Grand Island football, of Islander Power, what I do, has nothing to do with winning games and learning how to play football. The mission is it's 95%. I might even say in some days 100% about the kind of men that we build, the kind of man that we can produce. And so our goal is always to produce a man of honor, 24/7, 365, no matter who's watching. A man of commitment, who knows what commitment is and can live it every day. A man who has unflinching loyalty to the people around them, to their family, friends, teammates, and they love them up. A man who's courageous, who can do the right thing no matter what's going on around them. They can make the right choice and do what's right for the people around them. It's about producing a man that puts serving other people first before themselves, that loves the people around them enough to serve them and to make sure that we do what's best for that other person. That's Grand Island football. That's Islander power.
It isn't just about football. I mean, he makes it about our coaches' families, these kids' families. I mean, we're in there meeting with guys right now, and he's asking them how many brothers and sisters they have. It's about way more than football. And you know, that's what I've learned. That's where I've grown the most as a coach is, you know, you're always going to get better at coaching football the more you're around it, but coaching life, you can only pick that up from certain dudes and tease the guy on that.
You know, the culture of the program is to learn those traits, learn those skills, learn those things that will help you be a really successful man, husband, father, all those things. And, you know, I've learned a lot personally. You know, coming in here, when I started, I was 12 years out of high school when I came to Grand Island. So, and I've learned those things too, even more so than what I had in my life. So the kids, I think, you know, what an opportunity. What an opportunity at a young age to pick up on those things and learn from some people that really know, you know, how to instill those principles in young men. So
I think it'd be a disappointment to find out that anybody that makes it through our program in 4 years isn't able to be good husbands, be good fathers, be good college students, be good workers. I think with anything, those things are getting ingrained in these kids that they don't even really realize maybe at times, especially the younger they are. Maybe the older they get, they see it. But I think as coaches and as a guy that's been around Coach T for a long time now, that gets that what Coach T does is something special that I think it's important that we recognize that these kids are going to go out into society and be just great people.
Coach Tomlin teaches a life lesson daily. If you pay attention, Coach Tomlin teaches a life lesson every 5 minutes. I mean, there's no better leader that we could have. And like I say I've been around for a long time, and I've coached with great people. There's nobody better than Jeff Tomlin.
I don't think I worry about many of those kids down the road. No, and to be honest with you, I don't worry about many of our kids that leave our program. You know, I mean, if they bought in to what we've been doing for 4 years, they've got a great foundation for what they need to do as men the rest of their lives.
I'm extremely proud. I mean, to see where they've come. You know, I've been working with a lot of these kids from when they were tiny in camps, through middle school camps, through their freshman year, and you know, now we have a lot invested. I mean, we've been around long. We've got a lot of gray hair. We've been around a while, but we know these kids on a real personal level, and their families are incredible. Our parents have been incredibly supportive and have done so much behind the scenes for our program. And just to see these guys grow as young men and people, as well as football players, and to see them respond to adversity and just become even stronger, very rewarding. This class will have a real special place in my heart and the coaching staff's heart, for just all that they battled and from where they came.
I was thank Coach T ever since. He's one of the best men I've ever met in my life. He's one of the few men that actually scare me, legitimately scare me. But he does a great job of teaching us how to live correctly, how to do things the right way, and just set us up for success later in life. And all the coaches do that, not just Coach T, it's all of them.
I just want to make Coach T proud, honestly. I just want to know that I got the traits that he gave me, and I just want to keep fulfilling them.
And I can't thank you enough. Thanks for letting me be a part of this team. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you for everything. You know, this season has been some of the best moments of my life, and I'll take so many things I learned from this season, both as an athlete and competitor and person as well, and I'll take them with me for the rest of my life.
They believed in me and encouraged me to do my best every day and become better, and they were always there for me no matter what it was, whether it was school or football or at-home problems or anything, and I felt like I could talk to any one of them, and they were all nice to me, and they all made me better.
I wouldn't want to go to any other high school in the country. It was special, but I loved it, loved every minute of it.
I know I'm going to be successful because like all the things I learned, doesn't help me become a better man.
You know, for these guys, it was complete the mission, but the mission's still on. The mission wasn't to win football games. The mission's still on, and every day they wake up, I want them to think, hey, I'm alive, I'm okay. Mission's on, let's get up and get on with it. And, you know, we won't know if the mission is completed until they breathe their last breath and they sit before their Creator and wait for those words, you know, well done, good and faithful servant. It's going to be an ongoing thing every day, all day. And yeah, you worry about them, but you just have to trust, hey, you know what? You did your part, you played your role, and now it's up to them.
Fourth straight year that the Islanders have been in the playoffs, and except for 2012, they've been in the playoffs every year since 2004, and that's about when the Jeff Tomlin regime began. So give the Islanders credit because they have reestablished Islander football as a force to be reckoned with.
How many times in your life you get to play in a championship game? How many times? No room for low energy. None. GI Tough, Ironman mentality. The stage deserves that. Your teammates deserve that. Your program freaking deserves it. Yeah.
Get strong on 3, 1, 2, 3.
strong! Get that out.
On the ball, ready, break. And then these guys run up there like the cops are chasing them.
How about you and me both get an knee report at the same time?
Let's do
Stream operator and then-
You, so you can run around, and me, so I don't limp around.
There we go. The camera's kind of like my kids, you know. You got a filter? Yeah, you got a filter. They're always up in your face. They're always around. You just snuck up on me. Yeah. What'd you say, Daddy? What does that word mean?
I wasn't here to cut us out here as early as yesterday. It was 4 a.m. today.
You do some power walking when you come out here?
Sprints, wind sprints.
You wind sprints?
Yeah. Luckily, there's a camera right here in my face, so we can quit talking personnel.
He just threw him down! God dang it! What are you looking at? Absolute son of a fuck! Get him.
That's hey, that's grounding. That's grounding.
He's outside the box.
There's nobody here. Yes, he's in, baby. He's in, yes. And that's what happens when you have it, baby. Baby, yes. That's good timing right there. One kayaks. Beautiful, beautiful. I love Packers. That look familiar to you, baby? 29 Sweet, now called Packers. Called Packers. Ball. Yeah, don't stop, baby. Yes. No, he's in bounds. That is the worst call I've ever seen. Are you kidding me? That's the worst call I've ever seen. It's our ball. That is the worst call I've ever seen. He was 2 feet from being out of bounds. Hey, terrible. Coach T, tell him we'll send him the film on this game. He's freaking unbelievable. Clown school in the second half. Come on now. We got 4 on this side, you joke. You took 1 away from us. They ripped it off. They ripped it off. They ripped it off. What a freaking clown. I don't care. Unbelievable. Hey, guess what I just did, fellas? Nope, I went with the Nintendo Blow in it. It didn't work.